Hey, it's Katy. We're taking a little break for the holidays, but I hope you enjoy one of our favorite episodes. We'll be back with fresh content January 7th.
Welcome to the Affluent Buyer Script, your guide to engaging affluent buyers for your luxury outdoor home product and service business. Here's your host, Katy Doss.
Welcome back to the Affluent Buyer Script podcast, your go-to source for insights on attracting affluent buyers for luxury outdoor products and services. I'm your host, Katy Doss of Script Marketing, and every week I bring you insights into affluent buyers and how to reach them with your product or service. Do you ever get lost in the weeds of who you're selling to? It happens to the best of us. You know your business, you know your product or service, but sometimes you just take a step back and think, wait a second, who am I actually marketing to? You can definitely have this problem if you're creating content for your business. Sit down to write a blog post or email, and it's just all over the place because you're writing to an abstract idea of your ideal affluent buyer. Today, we're going to talk about a way to remedy this issue, and that is with target personas. So first things first, what exactly is a target persona? A target persona is a fictional, or honestly a semi-fictional, representation of your ideal customers or clients based on real data and real people. Imagine taking all your best customers and pulling out all their similarities into one document that shows you who they are. That is a target persona. Target personas include the demographics, behaviors, motivations, and goals of your audience, helping you understand and communicate with them much more effectively. Your business will have multiple target personas. Most businesses have 3 or 4 based on major differences between your ideal clients. So we're going to get into how to use and how to create a target persona, but first, let's go through an example. So what we're going to do is go through a sample target persona, and we're going to break it down section by section. Let's say that you own a business that sells super high-end outdoor sculptures and fountains. These things are just the epitome of luxury. And you've put together your first target persona, which is a client named John. Now keep in mind, John is not a real person, even though he may be based on a real person. He's a compilation of all the people similar to him who have done business with you or who you would like to do business with. We're going to look at John's target persona and break it down section by section. And by the way, we've put together a sample target persona that you can download from our site and work on your own target personas. Visit scriptmarketingco.com and go to the resources section. To get started with a target persona, we're going to start with demographic information. And that is basically the statistical characteristics of a person, their age, gender, income level, etc. So for John's demographic information, we have this. John is a 48-year-old male. He's married. He has 2 children, ages 12 and 16. He resides in a suburban neighborhood in Westchester County, New York. His occupation is Chief Financial Officer at a multinational corporation, and his income level is $300,000 annually. John's doing pretty well for himself. His education level, he has an MBA from an Ivy League university. So the demographic information gives you the basis for who John is. It tells you a little bit about him, but we're going to take this information and dig much further into who John is as a person. So what we're going to look at next is the psychographic information. Psychographic information differs from demographic information in that it's much more abstract. Psychographic information includes the characteristics of individuals that describe their psychological attributes. So it's basically used to understand why people behave the way they do. Psychographic attributes can include their attitudes, values, interests, lifestyles, and personality traits, and they offer insights into a person's motivations and preferences. So here's a little bit about John from his psychographics. John's interests include art and design, luxury travel, fine dining, wine collecting, and philanthropy. For his values, John values quality, he values exclusivity, sustainability, and craftsmanship. His lifestyle psychographics show that John enjoys a luxurious and sophisticated lifestyle. He regularly hosts social gatherings at his home, and he prioritizes the aesthetics and elegance of his living spaces. And as far as John's personality traits, he's very discerning, he is detail-oriented, he's status conscious, he's cultured, and he appreciates fine art and craftsmanship. So, do those psychographics sound familiar? Many affluent consumers share certain psychographics. Most of them value quality, craftsmanship, and exclusivity. These psychographics tell you much more about John. So you're kind of starting to get a mental image of who he is, right? You're starting to kind of picture John. So now let's delve into John's behavioral information. When we're talking about target personas, behavioral information refers to the data and insights about the actions, habits, and decision-making processes of individuals within your target audience. This information focuses on how people interact with products, services, and brands, and it provides a clear picture of a person's behaviors and preferences. So in the context of a target persona, behavioral information helps us understand the specific actions that individuals take and the patterns they follow in their consumer journey. So when we look at John's behavioral information, here's what we see, and this is going to make it make a lot more sense when you see an example. Buying habits. John prefers bespoke and limited edition items. He values personalized shopping experiences. He is loyal to brands that provide exceptional quality and service, and he seeks recommendations from trusted sources such as interior designers and architects. Those are his buying habits. As far as brand loyalty, John has very high brand loyalty once that trust is established, but it can take him a while to actually establish that trust. We can look at preferred communication channels within behavioral information, and we know that John actually appreciates direct mail with very high-end catalogs, personal consultations. He enjoys luxury lifestyle magazines, and he enjoys social media platforms like Instagram and Pinterest for visual inspiration. For his online behavior, John regularly browses high-end design and lifestyle websites, and he subscribes to premium content about luxury living and home improvement. Again, much of what we see in someone's behavioral information can be seen over and over again with affluent buyers. So with this behavioral information, you can really start to get into the psyche of your target persona. How they make decisions can help you market your product or service. Up next, we're going to look at John's goals and challenges. Now, I know that sounds broad, but when you're developing goals and challenges for your target personas, you want to keep these narrow and focus on ways that relate to the problem you are actually solving with your business. These are not overall goals and challenges for John's entire life. We want to focus on how you can help John solve these goals with your business. Goals are the desired outcomes or objectives that your individual wants to achieve. These can be personal, professional, short-term, long-term. They're aspirations that motivate their behavior and decisions. So for businesses like yours within the luxury outdoor products and services industry, goals are typically related to two things. Number one is aesthetics, and number two is time. Your target customers want things to look good, and they want to spend more time with their families. Those are the two main goals that businesses we talk to are solving for their target customers. Challenges are the obstacles or difficulties that this individual might encounter in their pursuit of that goal. So these can include different pain points, frustrations, or barriers that hinder their progress and need to be addressed or overcome. So if we look at our example business, this high-end outdoor sculpture and fountain business, Knowing what we already know about John, we can infer a few goals and challenges that we can help him with. John's goal is that he wants a beautiful home that's the envy of everyone who sees it. End of story. That is his goal as it pertains to this business. So what are John's challenges when it comes to meeting that goal? Well, he has a few. Number one, it can be difficult for him to find unique, high-quality pieces that really stand out. Number two, John's a busy guy, and he does not have time to shop for this statement piece and figure out what would look great. He's not actively shopping for this, but if something presents itself in front of him as an ad, he's probably going to buy. And number three, John's not necessarily a handy guy. He doesn't have time to ensure that the installation and maintenance of this sculpture is handled with care. So you see how looking at those challenges, your business can fix all of those for John. You can provide him with a beautiful, high-quality piece. You can serve him ads that show him that piece and how easy it is to order. And you can handle the installation and regular maintenance. End of story. Finally, in our development of sample target personas, this one for John, we have motivations and influences. Motivations and influences provide a deeper understanding of what drives an individual's behavior and decision-making process. So motivations are the internal, underlying reasons or driving forces that compel a person to take action or make decisions. These can include emotional, psychological, social, or practical factors that inspire and guide behavior. Influences, on the other hand, are external factors or sources of information that impact the decision-making process. These can include people, media, experiences, or even societal trends that shape perceptions and choices. So in both cases, as it relates to your target personas, the decision you're basing all of this around is the decision to buy your product or hire you for your services. For John, his motivations are his desire to showcase his success and taste and his passion for art and design, right? He's influenced by recommendations from interior designers and landscape architects, features he reads in luxury lifestyle publications, experiences he's had at high-end resorts and estates, word of mouth from his social circle, and brand reputation and heritage. Now that we've gone through John's target persona, I bet you have a very, very good idea of who he is. You know John, right? You may have worked with John. If you think about your business, I bet you can pinpoint exactly what product or service John would want from you. You know that John will expect unparalleled service. I bet you also can think of how you might act around John, right? Would you dress a little differently? Maybe give the car a wash before meeting with him? This is what makes target personas so incredibly valuable. Even though John isn't a real person, he's a compilation of a variety of ideal affluent buyers. You know him, and you definitely want his business. Now that we've gone through a pretty comprehensive target persona, let's talk about how you can use this information to sell more of what you sell. Target personas give you someone to talk to in your marketing. Rather than putting together a general meta ad to promote your product or service, you can put together a meta ad aimed at John. Think about the value in that when you have 3 or 4 target personas, as most businesses do. What if you have a second persona? We'll call her Mary, for this high-end sculpture and fountain business. What if Mary is a retired woman in her 70s who wants a relaxing, beautiful fountain in her backyard space that she can enjoy as she reads, gardens, spends time with the grandkids? Mary is very different from John, but they're both ideal customers for this business. Your ad targeting John is going to be completely different from your ad targeting Mary. John's ad may feature, a jet-set style guy hosting a fancy soiree at his home, featuring guests oohing and eyeing at this beautiful sculpture. But Mary's ad, on the other hand, may feature a calm, serene setting, showing a retired husband and wife enjoying their morning coffee and newspapers next to their fountain. Both target personas can dictate website landing pages, professional photography, even sales strategies, and customer engagement. Once you have target personas for your business, it is so much easier to target all of your marketing to one of your ideal clients. Your planning will go faster because you know who you're targeting. And you're actually going to save money on your ad budgets because you're going to be laser focused on each particular affluent buyer you're trying to target. You're not going to waste money on people outside of those groups. Now that we've talked through target personas and you've listened to an example broken down section by section, it's time to create your own. And I mentioned it earlier, but we've got a step-by-step guide you can download from the resources page at scriptmarketingcode.com. So make sure you download that to make this process even easier. First things first, creating target personas is a team sport. This goes so much smoother and your results are much more accurate if you get your key team members around a table to hash this all out together. So let's go through how to create your target personas. These are the steps you want to follow for each persona. Number one, look at your previous best clients, the clients you would work with over and over and over again because they appreciated the work you did, they were great to work with, they paid you on time, everything that you value as a business. How can you divide those clients into groups of Johns or Marys or Steves or whoever's? Begin determining the 3 or 4 target personas you're going to need for your business. And again, most businesses have 3 or 4. If you find yourself with 7, 8, or 9, let's take a step back and determine, are they all really ideal clients or are they all just clients you've had in the past? There's a big difference. So number 2, you're going to give each target persona a name so you know exactly who you're talking about. We are not doing target persona 1, target persona 2. You have to give them a name so that you can think about this target persona as a real person. Because when it comes to your marketing, they are real people. Number 3, you're going to develop your persona's demographics. You're going to include things like age, gender, income, marital status, children, location, education. And again, every ideal client that you've had is not going to be the same age. In general, are they in their 50s or are they in their 30s? Pick an age. You need to pick an age that is roughly an average of that smaller group. Next, you're going to determine your persona's psychographics. And this is when things get a little more difficult. And this is when it really does help to have a group of people around a table doing this. You're going to include things like their interests, their values, their lifestyle, their personality traits. A lot of this is going to be educated guesses based on your conversations with past clients that fall into each target persona. But you know your business and you know your best clients. You know if a certain group of people, if philanthropy is really, really important to them. You know if they really enjoy art or wine or golf or fishing or hunting or whatever it is. That's where these psychographics come into play. Number 5 is determining the behavioral information. So this is where you're going to flesh out those buying habits, brand loyalty, preferred communication channels. So do they prefer emails or phone calls or texts? A lot of that is based upon their age. How do they behave online? And by the way, once you're getting into some of the nitty-gritty of these target personas, ChatGPT is a fantastic tool to use to get you started. You can ask ChatGPT to put together a target persona with some of the information you have and see what it spits out, and you can take that and edit it. Sometimes that's easier than starting from scratch, but use the tools that you have available to you. So number 6, after your behavioral information, you are ready for your goals and challenges. And remember, these relate to your business. So what goals might your target customer have that relate to your business? So for John, it was that John wanted to impress his friends at parties that he's hosting with this beautiful sculpture that you've installed in his yard. That's his goal, to impress his friends. For the challenge, what challenges relate to these goals that your business can help with? Well, John's challenge was that he doesn't have time to shop for this stuff, nor does he have time or the inclination or the talent, frankly, to install it. Those are the challenges that your business can help with. Number 7, we're going to outline your persona's motivations and influences. Remember that motivations are internal. What internal factors are motivating this person? Influences are external. What external factors contribute to this person making a decision? Motivations are things like wanting to be the life of the party, wanting to always be the host. Influences, think about influencers, they're external. Oh, I saw this influencer who had this great grill and that's what I want. So you're going to put together your motivations and influences. Finally, you're going to compile all of this information into a document. We like to grab a few photos just, off the internet of people who kind of look like our target, who we're envisioning. And this further personifies him or her so that when you're using this in your marketing, you really have a picture of who you're talking to. Once you've developed your group of target personas, each key player in your company should receive a copy. They should study them and really understand who these people are. All of your marketing and content efforts should be geared toward one of these target personas. And once you've been using these target personas in your marketing for a few months, take a step back and gauge where you are. You will definitely find that honing in on your ideal clients is paying dividends. So remember, you can download our free target persona creation guide from our website at scriptmarketingcode.com. It's a huge help and walks you through everything we've discussed today. That's a wrap for today. I'm your host, Katy Doss of Script Marketing, where we help luxury outdoor product and service businesses connect with and sell to affluent homeowners. If you've got questions or ideas for a future show, we always want to hear those. Email info@scriptmarketingcode.com. We'll see you next week for more actionable marketing tips from the Affluent Buyer Script podcast.
You've been listening to Script Marketing's Affluent Buyer Script podcast, your go-to source for engaging affluent buyers in the luxury outdoor home product and service industry. For more information, visit scriptpodcast.com.